3 bombs shattering my wedding reception, which was taking place in Amman, Jordan. We lost in the wedding 27 people, including my father, my father-in-law, my mother-in-law.
The first explosion had gone off, and my daughter dropped to her knees and screamed, my dad.
When I was 4 months old, I was affected by the 1998 US Embassy terrorist attack, where my dad was killed.
Cuando tenía 12 años, explotó el coche en el que viajábamos mi madre y yo al colegio. Cuando me desperté, estaba en la UCI, sin saber dónde estaba mi madre, sin saber que no tenía piernas y sin 3 dedos.
My beautiful 21-year-old daughter was in London, and she was tragically stabbed to death in the London Borough Market terror attack.
J'ai suivi des grands bruits. Ratatatata, pang, pang, pang. Je ne savais pas ce qui se passe. Je prends donc une balle qui me transperce totalement la main droite.
A person was maybe two to 3 feet away from me. He yelled his last prayers and he pressed the detonator. I got lifted from that place and I landed on my both feet and I just went unconscious.
When I was 17, I was shot 5 times at Utøya terrorist attack. I remember looking at my hand, and at that point, 2 of the fingers was just hanging there in some flesh, but nothing more. It's because I've done like that, trying to stop the bullets with my hand. I wasn't a superhero. It would.
There was this almighty explosion, and I saw this big cloud coming towards me. There was a smell that I'll never forget. I looked up and I just said, I've got to get through this, otherwise my daughter's going to be an orphan.
J'ai perdu mon mari et mon fils aux attentats du Casablanca.
On 9/11, we were at a gas leak, and all of a sudden, we heard a loud noise of a plane coming overhead. And then I saw the plane aim and crash into the World Trade Center. I was the first chief to be in charge.
Bila dia udah saya ni agak grim saya. Ada ganan kalau orang dia agak dari kuah to see, Western luas nak orang cara. Dengan uang kira orang jauh saudara suara so cewek da exclu ahora le.
No sabía realmente qué pasaba. Era como meterte en un horno muy caliente, muy oscuro todo. Mi ropa estaba reventada, estaba todo destrozado.
We knew that a gunman live-streamed his crime at a Noor mosque on Facebook. We came to know the names of the people who were injured, and the last name was my husband's name, and my son's name wasn't there.
When the bombing blast, I was standing at the main gate. I was hospitalized for 5 months. I lost my left eye.
يعني داخل السنجر جاءوا كتبوا 3 أيام ظلينا بقحطانية. جاءوا كتبوا أسماءنا على الأوراق الصغيرة. طلع اسمي على واحد من الموصل كمان مرة تانية. هذا أول واحد اللي اعتدى علي واغتصبني وضربني وإنه دائما كنت هيك أخرمش بيها. عندهم كنت يعني من كتر الخوف والقلق والأشياء اللي بداخلي إنه ما كان عندي حد إنه.
I remember one lieutenant from Engine 33 coming in very quietly. We didn't say a word. We looked at each other and wondering if we were both going to be okay. And then I told that fire lieutenant, as I told many other fire officers, go up. That was the last time I saw my brother Kevin. Both World Trade Center buildings collapsed, and we lost almost 3,000 people, and I lost 343 firefighters.
A shot that got through my head, and I remember vividly taking my hand up to feel what was going on, and just feeling like this soft stuff here. And that was me, actually feeling my own brain. This picture here, it's of us three. It's me, Anders, Simon. It's a reminder of being youthful and being like nobody can stop us from anything we want, and the world is filled with opportunities.
The first thing that I saw was my legs, and I looked up and I thank God. I said, I'm intact in one piece. That picture of mine does not say that I'm not fine. It shows the courage, the power of it, that I'm okay. It's a picture which speaks 1,000 words.
Sa montre, elle était là. C'est la seule chose que j'ai gardée de mon mari de ce jour-là. Quand je la touche, c'est comme si je touche le bras. N'a pas suffi aux terroristes de m'enlever mon mari, mais aussi mon fils. J'ai décidé de graver son prénom.
Ha sido muy duro porque yo he sido madre soltera y nunca pensé que iba a sufrir un atentado terrorista. Yo le pedía, me acuerdo en el hospital, a las enfermeras, y yo les decía, por favor, si me pasa algo, llevarla a Ecuador con mis padres, no la dejéis sola. El estar siempre las dos es una fortaleza muy importante para mí. Siempre viene, me abraza y me dice, estoy aquí, ¿vale?
I can't describe how devastating as a parent to lose a child in these circumstances is for the rest of your life. Sarah was very responsible, capable, vibrant, full of life.
Sarah was having the trip of a lifetime. We used the phone to connect every day. That was, every message, every emoji, every photo.
Everything just stopped in that point of time. When Sarah stopped, the phone stopped.
I didn't really get a taste of what it really felt to grow up with a father who can nurture you, who can go with you to soccer games. The reason why I like suits is because it reminds me of my father. He was well dressed, and every time I do wear a suit, it brings back the memories of the stories that my mom used to tell me about him. I would like my dad to be proud wherever he is, just to look and say, oh, truly, in as much as I cannot be there with him physically, but I'm still proud of him as a young boy and also as a young man.
This is the rosary which was in my father's hand when he passed away. When I see a guy holding a rosary, it reminds me of my father.
I didn't want to go out. I didn't want to see anybody. My daughter was only 9, and all I was capable of doing was taking her to school in the morning and picking her up. I remember just putting my arms and hugging her so tightly, thinking that I was one of the lucky ones. This is a ticket, and it relates to the London bombings. It is a ticket to my sanity in terms of the connections with everybody that was affected, bereaved, and the survivors.
Before I was watching gaskiya kam kwanden urochisana more especially ma auden siku wada kuma kai da cikin tinyiro walzu rayuwa ya walzare shi awo share siku auden wasu nuna siku.
L'histoire derrière cette photo, c'est la première rencontre avec mon fils après l'attaque. C'est l'expression de la victoire. Ça marque mon courage et ici, ma joie de vivre.
I was thinking of my granddaughter. She is an orphan now. Every time I will look in the eyes of my granddaughter, lovely eyes and inquisitive eyes, is like, where is daddy? How can I really help her understand? This is the story that I'm going to write for Aya. It's the butterfly and the granddaughter, which is Aya, and myself. When the butterfly hatched, it was a male butterfly. The butterfly has to go, which means she has to accept the situation that we are in.
Mi madre dijo, con esto tenemos que vivir siempre, así que elige vivir amargadas, frustradas, maldiciendo a los terroristas o decidir que tu vida empieza hoy y vamos a mirar adelante con optimismo. Yo le dije, mamá, he nacido sin piernas. Rafael Alberti me mandó al hospital algo que me dio muchísima fuerza en ese momento. Dice a Irene que llegará a volar como esta paloma.
During my first year after the Boston Marathon bombing, I was struggling. The explosion caused some acoustic damage. I had left my job. My son left school. I had sketched out a design. I just wanted at that time to have something special, again, to raise money for folks that may have been suffering like I was at the time.
This picture reminds me that terrible situation during the bombing blast. I know it's hard to see. I don't want it happen to my children.
There's an object that I hold very dear to my heart, and it's my white fire chief's helmet. I think of that helmet as who I was that day. It became a symbol for the world, a symbol of hope. That helmet reminds me of the helmets each of my firefighters wore as they climbed the narrow stairs of the World Trade Center, so others may live.
I've been living with my pain for the past 16 years, but this pain have converted into something that I think that is very good to be told as a story, will heal me and will help other people to understand that whatever the story that these groups or these ideologies are telling us is not the correct one.
ما راح نقول لكم إنه نريد كل حقوقاتنا، على الأقل يعني نحس بأمان، يعني نكون في منطقة آمنة إنه ما يتكرر هذا الشيء مرة ثانية.
These are acts that cannot be undone. I haven't met someone who has gotten over the death of a loved one. You don't. You just find a way around it.
You tried unexpected, destructive ways to break us up, but we still stand united. You tried to murder all of us, but you failed.